Good morning, everyone. We are going to be converting more fractions today. I am working on problems from the third worksheet. We are not going to do all of them, so you are responsible for the rest. I'm going to start off with number 1, -2 4/5. So when we're converting that, we need to keep the -2, and the only thing we need to worry about converting is the 4/5. So in our calculator, we're going to type 4 divided by 5. Ooh, and that's very blurry. That makes it any better. It does a little bit. Okay, 4 divided by 5 is 0 and 8/10. In this case, it's going to be -2 and 8/10. So the only difference between problem number 1 and problem number 3 is that we have a mixed number here, and we have to remember to take this -2 over into our answer. Okay, so for number 3, 7/8. That one is just like we've been doing. So we just need to do 7 divided by 8, and our answer is 0 and 875 thousandths. So 0 and 875 thousandths. Number 4, a mixed number. It's -1 and 2/3. So I have to bring my -1 over and convert the 2/3. This is a good one to memorize, okay? We have worked on this one now a couple days in a row. 2 divided by 3 is the 0.66666666. Okay, so we talked about how you can't write it the proper way in a Google Docs. So we are just going to write out the 6 a couple times. That way I understand that you have the correct answer. And we will worry about writing it the correct way when we get back in school. Okay, the same thing goes for number 6, -1/3. I have to put that in my calculator. Hopefully you have it memorized. It's repeating as well. 0.3333333333. Okay, so 0 decimal. You should write it with a bar or a line above the 3. We can't do that in a Google Doc, so we just write it out a couple times. Now let's do 4, just so I keep it the same. I did 4 there. Do 4 here. Is there a mistake in problem number 6? Is my answer correct? It is not. I should have a negative sign on there. I have to bring that negative over into my answer. Remember, we can't do all that fancy stuff in a 4-function calculator, so we have to remember to do it ourselves. Okay, I am going to scooch this down a little bit, and let's hope. Oh, it is staying in focus. Good, 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 good. All right, so on number 15, the directions for that section, or for this section, says to take these numbers and order them from least to greatest. Okay, so if we are doing something from least to greatest, if we plot them on a number line, after we plot the points on a number line, in order to write them from least to greatest, we just have to write them from left to right on the number line. I think we talked about that some yesterday. Okay, so before I can plot these points, it's easier if they're all decimals. So this one right here, I don't have to use my calculator at all on this. If I pay close attention, I have already completed everything I need to answer this. -2 is going to stay. 1/3 we've already taken care of. 1 divided by 3 is 0.33333333. So I can just add that onto the -2, and I have my answer. I don't have to worry about the second number. I don't have to worry about the third number. Now the last one we haven't done. I believe you've had 3/5 somewhere in your worksheet. I don't exactly know where. So I'm going to have to divide on that one to make it work. So 3 divided by 5 equals 0.6. Okay, so I have -1 decimal 6. I have to put the -1 in instead of the 0 because it's a mixed number. Okay, next thing we would need to do is plot those on a number line. That way we would know without a doubt how to write them in order from least to greatest. We would have that visual help. Okay, so I'm going to start with the -2 and 1/3. So -2 and just a little bit, 0.33333. So not quite a half. So that's about -2.5. So I'm going to scooch it back some. Make it right there. So that's -2. And really it's the 1/3 part. 1/3. My marker is getting worse the longer we are on snow days. All right, the next number is a half. So I go to 0 and I'm like, okay, well, I need to go halfway to 1. So right here, 0.5. Okay, my next number is -2 and 9/10. So that is almost all the way to -3. Almost. Now, if I had a pencil, I could write this a lot neater and fit my answer right here. But since I don't, I'm going to have to go over to the side and put -2.9. Then I come back and I need to graph the -1 3/5. So I need to go to -1 and just a little ways past half. Half is 5. So I'm going to go -1. This is about half. So just a little further. And I have -1. And instead of putting 0.6 down, I'm going to write it the way I was given it. 3/5. I know it's hard to read on here, but my marker tip is slowly fading away. We need to go back to school or I'm going to have to dig myself out of the driveway to get more markers. Okay, so we've graphed them. We now need to write them from least to greatest because that's what our direction said. So we really just write them from the left side to the right side of the number line because this is the least and this is the greatest. So when I start off, this is -2.9, comma. Then I have -2 and 1/3. Then I have -1 and 3/5. And finally, I have 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to double check, make sure I wrote everything the original way I was given. Okay, I have. So this is my final answer right here. Okay, I'm going to leave the rest to you guys. If you have questions, right there, email me. I can set up a Google Meet with you guys if you need it. Just let me know so I can help you. Okay, you are not allowed to go in and write random answers on your homework questions. If you do, I am going to be emailing and calling your parents. So don't do it. You're just going to get yourself in trouble. If you have questions, let me know, please. Hope to see you guys soon.